नमस्कार, स्पिरिचुअल डॉक्टर्स फॉर होलिस्टिक हेल्थ पर आप सभी दर्शकों का स्वागत है। वेलकम इन once again in one new episode with a new doctor, with a new expert। कहा जाता है जीवन में हमें चिंतन करना चाहिए, चिंता नहीं। But we don't contemplate on our life, but we take so much worry। तो बातें तो हमने सुनी है कि चिंता मत करो, चिंतन करें। तो चिंतन में क्या करना चाहिए? हाउ टू contemplate and what are the detailed aspects of contemplation of self, looking on self? On this topic we are inviting one Indian doctor who is serving in UAE, Dr. Gurumadhva. He is originally from Karnataka, Manipal, but he is serving in UAE in one medical university, RAK Medical and Health University, as a president. I am member of one group, Ayur Suraksha. In that group, I came to know about him, and I heard his talks, and so I decided to invite him. So let's learn how to contemplate on self. स्वागत है सर आपका। वेलकम ऑन द एपिसोड ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल डॉक्टर्स फॉर होलिस्टिक हेल्थ। स्वागत, वेलकम सर।
Good morning, Dr. Ranjan and your team and all the members who have taken off from the beautiful Sunday to attend this, because that's a very happy note actually, because when somebody comes to a session like this, sacrificing their holiday, I think it's a very welcome and heartening. So at the outset, Dr. Ranjana, let me thank you profusely for giving me this opportunity. Really, I'm grateful to you. And I know you are also the member of that Ayur Suraksha, where I'm also the, one of the member. And one thing I should congratulate you, because the name itself, spirituality doctors for the holistic health, and separating from religion. Nowadays what has happened, the spirituality and religion, they are mixed up together. And we bring God, we bring religion, and then we say spiritual. Actually, it's a very good attempt from you to clearly distinguish between the spirituality and belief in gods and belief in religion or belonging to a particular religion. I will also try to clarify a little more. I'm sure all of you are familiar. I'm audible now, Dr. Ranjan?
Yeah, you're perfectly audible, sir.
So and definitely it's my pleasure to...
Before starting PPT, sir, let's talk a little bit in a normal physical manner. So that is more interesting. And we will also like to know about your journey.
Yeah.
About your interest in this field. How you came to dive. How you got interested in these fields. And your experience in UAE, little bit.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you once again. Actually, as you said, I am from Karnataka, Udupi.
Yeah.
Near Udupi. Most of you would be familiar with the Udupi, known for Sri Krishna temple established by Madhvacharya. And actually, I studied in Mysore Medical College, my MBBS, and then MD in the Manipal University. Again, you must be familiar with the Manipal University, which is the number one private university in India,
yes,
having all the branches of different specialities, including health sciences, technology, management, and others. And I've been fortunate to serve there for 28 years, starting from lecturer to professor, and then associate dean, and then finally the registrar of the university. So up to 2005, I was there. Then I was fortunate to get a call from the ruler of Ras Al Khaimah here in UAE, he wanted to start the medical university. That's how I consider myself very fortunate to start this university from the scratch. Now we have medical, dental, pharmacy, and nursing programs, undergraduate programs, and also masters in nursing and pharmacy. Now, I'm happy to share with you that we have completed 16 years of the university. And now, as of now, we have around 1,200 students from 50 nationalities.
50 nationalities.
Yes. Because, UAE is a country of the experts. They have got only 20% nationals, and then remaining 80% are experts. So, in fact, more than 200 countries of residents stay here. That speaks volumes about the UAE administration, the tolerance, the effectiveness in administration, and the way they focus on the citizens and the experts for the developmental projects. As I was just sharing with you before the beginning, the way they controlled COVID and the arrangements they made, they created the field hospitals just from nowhere, and that's the way they manage the COVID patients. And of course, as I told you, recently the Expo 2020, you would have heard. In fact, whenever you are traveling this way, definitely you should not miss that. That will be there for another 6 months, I think. So it's a very Herculean task done very effectively. So I've been fortunate that rulers and here the government very, very supportive, and they not only respect experts, but also they give opportunities. Like how I got the opportunity to start the health science university from the beginning. So in fact, our students, around 30% are Indians, and then all the other Arabs and nationals, around 10%. One more thing, because of the Ministry of Health support, I should share with you. There's a shortage of nurses everywhere.
Okay.
So the Ministry of Health and our government, Ras Al Khaimah government, together, they give sponsorship for all the nationals, full scholarship, including hostel fee, transportation, everything for the nationals. Last 6-7 years back, not even one national was joining the nursing program. Now we have more than 60% are nationals who are joining the nursing program. There's a one indication of how the social growth takes place in terms of education and in terms of other opportunities. UAE in general known for tourism, known for industry, known for real estate, all the business related to that. And in the free zone, they invite many companies. There's a lot of Indian companies working here. So I consider myself very fortunate to get these opportunities. And of course, one more thing also I should tell you about I'm also fortunate. See, in the Manipal, we are the first one to start the medical education department. So there, not only the training and teaching, learning, and all those for the faculty, we were also focusing on the soft skills. How to improve ourselves, how to become a leader, what are the personality which will make you more productive or more successful, soft skills. That we are continuing here also. We regularly conduct the soft skill workshops for the students, for the faculty, and even outside like this. We frequently give lectures outside also. Only thing is online problem is it cannot be conducted like a workshop. Otherwise, normally here it is a workshop. All this leadership process and so many other processes. And, how to manage ourselves. Because also all the time we are worried, we are focusing on how somebody else is managing or how somebody else is not managing effectively. But our focus is how to look at ourselves, as I'm sharing the session, how to look at ourselves and how we can improve day by day.
Yeah.
Can we become a competitor to ourselves rather than competing with somebody else? That is the focus.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This was all about your academic and medical and journey to UAE. What about your interest in holistic field?
No, that's what. See, when I said soft skills, you will see today's session also, how we have combined the modern, all the books or techniques, so-called techniques, with our linking with our ancient philosophy. I will not say religion, but basically it's a philosophy related to or traveling towards spirituality. You will see whatever I say, I will be linking with the previous philosophy, whatever philosophy. Of course, I am more familiar with our Hindu philosophy, but even other religion, I am quite familiar. So I know basically what is the purpose of religion and what about the different gods, all those, So I would like to touch some of the misconceptions and how we can proceed in a more peaceful, more cordial way. Ultimate focus is how to enjoy ourselves, our life.
Yeah.
How to, give more importance to blessings rather than difficulties or curses or problems,
Yeah. Good, sir. Okay, sir, let's start to the topic and let's listen your perspective on looking on ourselves, how we should look ourselves. With your decades of experience.
Yes, now 43 years of experience in teaching and academics, and then in establishing several institutions. Even in Manipal, when I was the registrar, we established several medical colleges. For example, they have the campus in Nepal, Sikkim, Antigua, Malaysia. All those I was fortunate to get involved in all the starting of the new ventures. So I should consider myself very fortunate, and in the process now trying to help people as much as possible and guiding the people as much as possible.
Great.
In addition to improving, trying to improve ourselves day by day. Yeah. So once again, thank you so much, Dr. Ranjan and your team and all the delegates. It's my real pleasure and privilege to share some of the things. Of course, this is not the end of it. Life is a continuous learning, no end for it. And however experienced we are, we will never become perfect. Always there will be scope for improvement, and always there will be individual, differences which suits to some particular individual may not suit to others. Like that. So each one of us have to try different techniques. But the fortunate thing is there are different techniques available, different principles are available. Only thing is we have to absorb what is good for us. So ultimately that is the important message. So, it's the first slide, it is self-explanatory. All of you can see that. Everybody can see the slides?
Yes, sir.
See, this is I don't know whether to say bitter fact or the real fact. I should say it's a real fact. Whoever has born in this world, we have to disappear. There is absolutely no escape. We know that. But still we are having so much of fear. Still we worry so much about this. Instead of accepting, okay, I have come to this world. One day I have to disappear. As long as I am here, let me try my level best to myself and to others. I think if we change our thinking, our life will become a change, and also we can change others' life. I think that's what now. What Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. It's like death is like changing the old shirt and wearing the new shirt.
Yeah.
And the soul has no death. So we have to believe that, we have to trust that. Once we do that, we will not have the fear of that. Only we will be focusing on our duty. Again, all of you must be familiar. Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So doing the duty is of utmost important thing what we have to do as long as we are alive, as long as we have the energy to do. And that's what is the focus. So each day, every moment, we should consider how we can become better. than what I was yesterday. Once we realize this, that we are not permanent, or other way around, the only one thing that is permanent in this world is that we disappear one day. So having known that fact, let us concentrate, let us focus on the energy that God has given to us, the nature has given to us, and see how best we can utilize it for ourselves and for others. So that's very important for us. Most of the time, we are scared of so many things. Anything new, we are scared. Anything new place going, we are scared. Anything new work, we are scared or having the fear or hesitation. Because we want to be in the comfort zone. Always we want to be in the comfort zone. I want to relax, I want to enjoy, I want all the comforts. Yes, it's not wrong to have that. But at the same time, if we keep on staying in the comfort zone, what will happen to our growth? How can we grow? How can be every day can be a learning experience? How we can facilitate learning in others? Because we live not just for ourselves, we live for others, which cannot forget. Because we live in a society, not only parents, brothers, sisters, but also friends, but also the work office where you are working, the institution where you are working, or in the society where you meet different people. Everywhere, we should be the facilitators. So if we have to be the facilitators, if we have to be playing a supporting role, how will we change? So if we are in the comfort zone, naturally, it's not possible. Again, you can recollect one very good this one Sanskrit saying, Udyamena he siddhyanti naka manoratai. Udyamena he siddhyanti karyani na manoratai. I think most of you must be knowing Sanskrit. It only tells, only by hard work you will achieve your desires. They give a very good example. For example, a lion, considered as a strong animal, Even if the lion is very strong, if it just lies down and opens its mouth, no animal will come and fall on its mouth. If it wants its food, it has to chase the animals, hunt the animals. So that is the principle of this nature. That is why our energy is there. Energy should be utilized properly. Then only you will achieve your desires and we will get the result. So it should be a continuous effort. I think here I should give my own example. Fortunately, again, I should consider I am 71-year-old now.
Oh.
But see, fortunately, God has given me enough energy and the attitude to still continue to, help people as much as possible and share whatever we are. And there are simple ways of changing our lives, to modify our lives so that our stress will be reduced. And when the stress is reduced, naturally, we'll be able to work better, and we'll be able to reduce the stress of others. See, basically, this is the principle. Each of the spiritual doctors definitely know that. See, most of the time, as I shared with you, all the time we will be worrying about ourselves. Why only problem for me? Why I only suffer? Why? What about my future? So many questions about ourselves, but very rarely we ask ourselves, am I doing my duty properly? Am I honest? See, we expect others to be honest, others to be trustworthy. But are we asking ourselves, are we honest? Am I trustworthy? Am I really working very hard in the way I'm supposed to work? Am I fulfilling the responsibility? Just to see the focus from the worry, it will become challenge. When you ask yourself, am I honest? Oh, if the answer is no, you realize it's not exactly the way. Okay, can I become more honest? Answer will be yes. So it is possible to become more honest, more trustworthy, more helpful, and then in the process, we can synergize with the others. So, focus of today's session will be looking at ourselves. As you see from the common practice, wherever you go, see any function you go, I am very sure, what people talk? As if they are the most perfect individual in this world, and whatever mistake, whatever happening, all because of somebody. Either boss is not good or teacher is not good, because of that I am failing. This is the student's complaint. Teacher is not good, I am failing. Boss is not good, I am not able to work. Same thing in the family. See, everywhere we have a tendency to put the blame on others rather than looking at ourselves first. I am not telling, please, we should definitely analyze others, no doubt about that. But before that, we should take time to analyze ourselves. What are our strengths and weaknesses? How can I weaken the weakness? How can I understand my mind better? How can I change my behavior? How can I change my attitude? That's what there are different ways of self-analysis. So that's what we will be looking at. What are the important attributes of ourself which can help us in more success, more peace, and more comfort and synergy in the public? Again, as I shared with you in the beginning, are there different gods or is there a one God? Lot of confusion. There are instances where fighting has taken place in the name of God and in the name of religion. Again, as we shared in the beginning, which is important? Whether God and religion are important or something else is important. As your name of the society, your organization, spirituality, we have to go to a higher level. See, this God, religion, everything is made to have a guideline, to a reason for prayer, to have a life which is having the boundary of do's and don'ts. But ultimately, the purpose of this is to go for a higher level of spiritual level. Again, all this we will see. And the different reasons for our stress and how can we minimize the stress. Some important points. So as already I shared with you, RAK Medical, and this is the main building of our university, RAK Medical and Health Sciences University. So looking at ourselves, let us focus on what are the factors we should look at ourselves, which will help us. There are two types of personality, very important. One is what is called reactive personality. All of us as a person, as a human being, we have certain innate capabilities and then some other emotions which are acquired or which are learnt as we grow because of the surroundings. Let us say in your childhood, the mother, when feeding the child, is a very common. When the child is not eating, what they will say? Oh, I will call the police. I will call the doctor. Doctor also is the actually victim sometimes. Oh, doctor will come and give injection, or police will come with the stick, or like that. What happens to the child later? You repeatedly do that. After the child grows also, all the time when they look at the police or when they look at the doctor, they got the fear. See, this is how parents also, unfortunately, sometimes responsible, parents, teachers. See, we induce different types of emotions which will have a permanent impact later when they grow. It may be a fear, or it may be, for example, some other parent or somebody, or teacher, a student who was not doing well. with encouragement, with the love. He puts his effort and the student changes, finally becomes a very good learner. You have seen, we have several examples of that. A good teacher, a loving teacher, a caring teacher, or a caring mother, whatever it applies, whoever, a loving and caring approach, how it can create confidence. So ultimately, our personality, when we grow, it depends on the balance between these type of negative emotions and the positive emotions. So somebody with the more negative emotions, what happens is, again, you have seen, for example, I'll give you an example. You go to airport, waiting for a flight. Let us say your flight is supposed to be another 1 hour. But what happens after 1 hour? You wait for 1 hour. Then suddenly you get the announcement that flight is cancelled. What is the reaction? Some of you would have experienced in the airport. What is the reaction? There are some people who coolly do, okay, cancelled, what to do? Anyway, I cannot walk or I cannot run to my destination. So I have to wait for the next flight. So I will book another flight. But some other people, what they will do? They will go to the counter, they will start fighting. You would have seen. They shout, they scold, they abuse their people who are around of that. Tell me, what is the use of quarreling or fighting in that moment?
No use.
Yes. See, we know no use, but still you find lots of people doing this, getting angry, abusing, scolding, and getting upset. Lot of things. Is it really necessary? Can we change? So the reactive people are the one who are having more of negative emotions. Because of that, they become impulsive. They become angry very fast. And in the process, they react inappropriately. What I told you the example. We get submerged in the emotions, the negative emotions, impulsive emotions, and in the process we become reactive, and in the process we react in a way which is most of the time not useful for the solution. See, our aim is to solve the problem. As a human being, as a living being, after having come to the earth, we cannot escape from the problems. Life is never ideal. There's nothing like always happiness or always sadness. Nothing is permanent. So naturally we have to equip ourselves. We have to become experts ourselves, a good problem solver. So if we have to solve the problem, naturally the negative emotions have to be controlled. How can we control? So that we call such personality as a proactive personality. In contrast to the reactive, they are proactive. What do you mean by proactive? You know your limitations. You have done a self-analysis of yourself. You know your strengths and weaknesses. And based on that, you always try to use your strength, not getting succumbed to the weakness. This is what a proactive person. A proactive person always thinks of his strengths and weaknesses, and in the process, they are able to respond in an appropriate way, which is suitable for that situation, which will be helpful for solving the problem. So he becomes a problem solver. He becomes a good, he or she becomes a good manager, able to manage in a much more peaceful way because the reaction is proper. That means what is very important? I think each one of you should remember this very well and practice this. Very easy to practice, not at all difficult. what I call issue-based functioning. In fact, I'm happy to share with you that we practice this issue-based functioning. Why? It is because our actions are based on the facts rather than the reaction which is based on the perception. So we need to have the patience, we need to have the willingness, we need to spend time to find out the facts about the situation, about the problem, about the persons, whichever is the situation. So when we find the facts and start analyzing, your response will be totally different. Rather than, I'll give you an example. See, you meet somebody after a long time, but somehow that person is not smiling at you. Immediately we start assuming, oh, what has happened? He was talking previously nicely. Now he has no time to smile. Oh, he has become a big man. That, this, that. What is the fact and what is the conclusion? You don't know the fact. That person may be having so much a problem, their own problem. We don't know. They may be thinking something else. They would not have focused on you. So, but we come to the conclusion based on our emotions, not based on the facts. So, if we focus on finding out the facts, analyzing the facts, and try to come out to a solution or reach a agreement or whatever, it will be in a much more peaceful way. And when you are in a peaceful way, peaceful status, thinking will be much better. Because emotions and thinking, they don't go hand in hand. When you are emotional, you will be rational most of the time. If we have to dig out the facts, we have to be objective. We have to be focusing on the facts. So can we do that? I'm very sure this is definitely possible to practice. Actions based on the facts rather than based on our perception. You have to take an oath. No, I'm not going to assume anything. Unless I know the clear-cut facts, I will not assume, I will not blame, I will not accuse anybody. You have seen nowadays media. In fact, now I have stopped seeing our television news and all those so-called discussions. Because, everybody talks as if they are the experts and they only know the facts, but actually nothing is a fact. You know that. Everybody based on their political affiliation and their liking and disliking is not at all based on the fact, because they don't know the facts, because nobody has studied the problem. Simply commenting, simply coming out with the big theories without knowing what is what. We cannot be like that. Especially if you want to become spiritual, we have to become objective. We have to rely on facts. Definitely not on our perception, definitely not assuming things. Second important aspect. First one we saw, proactivity and reactivity. And we have to become proactive. That is possible when we focus on the facts. The second point I would like to focus on, we worry. Even if there is no problem, we worry because there is no problem. So worrying has become our habit. What for we are worrying, we don't know. Again, I shared with you self-analysis. So can we analyze what type of problem we have, first of all? You'll be surprised when somebody says, I'm too stressed up, I'm having too much of problem, I don't want this life, all those, you make them sit and tell them to write. Okay, write some 5 important problems. To your surprise, you'll be surprised to know they will not be able to write even one problem. You'll be surprised actually. You know why? It's all again based on the assumption, based on comparison with others. Oh, somebody bought a new car. I also want a new car. Whether I need the car, that's a different matter. So based on the assumption, again, problems are multiplied. As I told you, when we become emotional, we become irrational. No focus on the facts, naturally, assumption gets the importance. So just to analyze only two things I would like you to remember. Problems, whether they are under our control or beyond our control. Just analyze these problems. Whatever you have, unfavorable situation, analyze into two categories. Are they under our control? Can I do something? Or it's beyond my control? I'm sure you will understand this. For example, one example I'll give you. Let us say in USA election is going on. And you want to have someone to win the election. In America, somebody is in India. I'm talking of somebody is in India who wants American election. Okay, the president is from the other party, which he didn't like. Okay, oh, he is worried for that. And because of the worry, all other work is stopped. I am worried, I don't want to do anything. You know, this is the tendency. Or students, you can ask, oh, today it is too hot. I cannot study. Today it's too raining. I cannot study. You know, like that, all the excuses, finding the excuses, which are totally beyond your control. So what is under our control? Studying, for example, is under my control. How much I can plan, how much I have to study, I know. Natural. Or, for example, see, Dr. Ranjan told me I should give a lecture. I think he gave me more than 1 month, I think. So he gave me time, 1 month time. But suppose yesterday evening I'm waking up, oh, tomorrow I have to give a talk. And is there a time to prepare for me? There is no time to prepare. So how will I do well? So when I know I have to give a lecture on 28th, naturally, it is my responsibility to prepare that well. Simple. See, many times this is where we go wrong. We never analyze. Not only we need to analyze the problems under our control, but also under our control, how can I do well? How can I plan? How can I implement? See, for example, today, not just the talk. Now Zoom, we have to connect. And then I have to share my session. I should be audible. You know, there are so many other technical issues. So I have to depend on our IT. In fact, our IT man, I should thank him. He's here, sitting here only. Because by chance, something goes wrong anytime. You know, so much of preparation is needed. Naturally, one has to plan. So most of the time, what happens? We don't plan. And then we say, oh, I am unlucky. Oh, God is like that. I always suffer. Like that, we cry. Without focusing on what is under our control, we waste our time when we are supposed to do. And then at the time of execution, we cry. Now, that's how if you really analyze, 75% of the population, at least it's more, at least 75% of the population, they waste their energy in the problems which is out of their control, beyond their control, or which is not relevant to them. Instead of focusing on themselves, how they can improve, how they can execute their responsibility in a proper way, instead of that, what they do, they focus on something else, somebody else's problem, and in the process, they have no time to do what they are supposed to do. You know, this is how the efficiency level of the human being goes down, which can be easily improved. You know, to tell you frankly, there's nothing like somebody is more intelligent or less. There may be variation, but if somebody is planning well, if somebody puts focused effort on what they're supposed to do, almost 99% of the people will be able to do what they're supposed to do. We have the energy, we have the biggest brain, you know, in the planet. God has been very kind to us. In fact, you know, not even 5 to 6% of the brain we are using. I'll share with you. Even the neurologist, you would have heard that. we need only 5 to 6% of our brain, or maximum 8%. We don't need a full brain, but still we have got a very big brain, which you are refusing to use. So, second step. First step I told you, become proactive. Second step, recognize the problems which are under your control. All the other problems which are beyond your control, just forget them. Don't waste your time there. And then focus on the problems which are under your control. That is what is very, very important. And then plan for that and use your energy for that. Then your life will be much more peaceful, because by forgetting all the problems beyond your control, automatically your 50% of the problem will be solved. Your stress is reduced automatically. Then you focus and you concentrate and get immersed with the commitment and dedication. Then that is the hallmark of the success route. No doubt at all. We say, okay, somebody is lucky. No doubt, destiny is there. Luck is needed, no doubt about that. But our effort, a planned effort, a focused effort with the dedication and commitment, and that is the key for the success. So I think here I should share with you. Already you may be familiar, I will not spend much time, but we should know the 3 types of mind. The conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the hyperconscious or superconscious. We need not worry about hyperconscious. That is, we never use. The conscious mind, you are familiar. Now, I am talking to you. That is through my conscious mind. The interaction, interpretation, recognition, analysis, all those through the conscious mind, cortex. Whereas, what is very important, in fact, much more important than the conscious mind, is the subconscious mind. Are you familiar with this concept?
Yes, sir.
So I will not go into detail, but what is very important here, because see, I'm talking of behavioral change, bringing the change in ourselves. So naturally, we have to modify our subconscious mind. That's why I brought up that topic here. Because, subconscious mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant, that will grow. You plant a rose plant, you will grow roses. Or you plant a jasmine plant, so jasmine will grow. But if you plant a weed, only weed will grow. I was giving you the example of for a child feeding, police and a doctor. What happens there to the child is the subconscious mind get fed by the mother's word. The police is to be scared. Police means there is a fear. So that will go into the subconscious mind and it will be stored. Subconscious mind, unlike conscious mind, it cannot analyze. Conscious mind can analyze, but subconscious mind cannot analyze. It only receives what you give. And accordingly, it will act. So if you give fear, the fear will be stored and fear will come out. But if you give confidence, the confidence will come out. So positivity in, positivity will be out. If you feed negative things, negativity will be out. That's why we have to be very careful about the subconscious mind. Any time it can be changed. Now there are several psychological and other scientific papers. For example, one tool to change the subconscious mind is self-talk. If you want later, I can help you. We give that here also. We share that. Self-talk is a powerful tool to change the subconscious mind, where you can change your, for example, you get angry, you are impulsive, but it's possible to change through your self-talk. That we will talk some other time, but for the time being, you should remember, for a behavioral change, the change of subconscious mind is very important. What happens during your childhood, whether it is from the parents or teachers or in the society. I think you can recollect, some of you can recollect, how many times up to 14-year-old age, or even not to 41, even now, how many times we will hear no rather than yes. You'll be surprised. Million times more. All the time, no, 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 don't do that, don't go there. No encouragement. Yes, if you can do like that, it's possible. Let us try this. Let us do it. The language which can change the subconscious mind. All those, there is a lot of study now and scientific proof for that. And where, as I shared with you, the self-talk has become a very important tool to change the subconscious mind. Some of the deep-rooted bias, deep-rooted fear, or deep-rooted negativity. The very successful with this self-talk. So as I shared with you, for any behavioral change. So the people who think I cannot change, you can be rest assured, and you can definitely make an attempt, honest attempt, to change the root thinking pattern, which is through the subconscious mind. I'm very sure we will be able to do that. So as I shared with you, the subconscious mind is modulated by the different factors. Already I explained all this. Because the ultimate behavior is formulated by the different inputs given through parents, teachers, our culture, our beliefs and values in the society. That's why there's a confusion. See, for example, mother says the child that you should be honest. Okay, when the child grows, they see the corruption, obvious corruption somewhere. When the child gets confused, when they see the contradictory situation in the society, naturally they get confused. That's why our subconscious mind has to become strong. See, one has to be punctual, or one has to be honest, one has to be trustworthy. All this, the subconscious mind is the one that should be a driver, which will help us to behave in a particular way, or not to behave in a particular way. So it's very critical for us to control or to modulate the subconscious mind, so that whatever we listen from the subconscious mind, it is for our good. It cannot be self-destructive. This you will understand. Same thing, whatever I was telling you. All of you can recollect our Gayatri Mantra. Is it not? All of you are familiar with the Gayatri Mantra, is it not? Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tat Savitrorenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. I am telling in Sanskrit, so people may mistake that it is religious. Actually, you will be surprised. What is the meaning of this Gayatri Mantra? It's considered as a most powerful mantra. Why is that? You are praying the God, maybe sun god or maybe Gayatri, goddess. You know what you are praying? Oh God, give me the right thinking at the right time, to have a right action at the right time, so that I can enjoy the right success at the right time. This is the essence of this Gayatri Mantra. There is nothing religious at all, except that it is in Sanskrit. That's why, American scientists have studied this, and this is supposed to be the most powerful mantra because of the so many qualities. Why? Because this is for the self-motivation. See, we are motivating ourselves. Oh God, give me the strength. Give me the correct thinking. Because why thinking is very important? Because basically thinking is the root cause for ultimate behavior and ultimate destiny. That's why nowadays even the psychologists have proved, for example, diseases like stomach ulcer. How it comes? Aggravating factor is stress, anxiety, fear. Same way, bronchial asthma, the breathing problem. Again, because of the stress, because of the negative thinking. Cancers, several diseases. Nowadays, there is what we call psychosomatic diseases, where there is a link between the thinking and the body problems. So much of link between what you think and the manifestation that happens in the body. So the people with the negative thinking are much more prone for all these type of diseases. Whereas people who are confident, people who are helpful to others, people who are supportive to others, people who are responsible, they are able to get the energy much more. Even after hard work, they don't feel tired. It is because of their positive thinking. So this has been proved. Whatever has been told in our philosophy, it has been proved beyond doubt now. Not only the link between the diseases and the thinking, whole behavioral pattern, how it is shaped by the way we think. Because the way we think, we look at the things. The way we look at the things, as I shared with you, you will look at the things objectively. You will try for facts. Based on the facts, we will analyze. Only when our mind is positive, when our mind is objective, when our mind is willing to learn. Otherwise, it is not possible. If you are biased, you say whole world is bad. Somebody says whole world is bad. Everybody is bad in this world. Because of that, I am suffering. If somebody thinking like that, it's very difficult to deal with such people. To change that, it is possible, but they should be willing. As I shared with you, it is because of the wrong feeding of the subconscious mind. And when that subconscious mind, when we can correct the input to the subconscious mind, it is possible. So my dear friends, please let us remember our thinking has to change. To change the actions, in the process, habits, and ultimately our character and destiny. So as I shared with you, the subconscious mind, this is the problem. Whatever you put, that will come out. If the negativity will come out, and the positivity will come out. So if you put good things will come out. And that's what our effort should be. Our effort should be to feed the subconscious mind in a proper way, in a relevant way, what is needed, what is good for us, not what is self-destructive. Many times you have seen most of the self-destructive actions, who is responsible? Somebody else is not responsible. Oneself only is responsible. And that's what we can avoid if we realize this. So that's how the focus of the session. Once again, I would like to stress that, because unless we do this, whatever I talk, no use. From today, if someone can stop accusing, blaming others straight away. And okay, from today, I'll be looking at myself, how to improve. I have to improve. If somebody takes a oath or takes a determination, and that will be the purpose of my talk, I'll be very happy. And it's very, very easy, let me tell you. Not at all difficult. But of course, it's not a one-day phenomenon, but definitely it is possible. So, my dear friends, let us analyze ourselves, especially our strengths and weaknesses. Let us strengthen our strengths and weaken or delete our weaknesses. This should be our constant endeavor. Every day morning, get up. Yes, thank God for this day. And then you say, thank God for giving me the willingness to change myself for better. That should be the part of the prayer. So once again, I would like to emphasize, see, nowadays, so much of importance to knowledge and skill. No doubt they are important, no doubt at all. But that's not enough. You have seen now, see, any job interview, the scores are least important. I'm very sure most of you know that. Nowadays, what is given more important is the attitude, the emotional quotient. I will come to you in a. So ultimate competency, what we call efficiency or competency, where we are able to manage any situation. That comes from not just knowledge or skill. It is based on the attitude, the way we apply ourselves, what we have in a problem solving situation without hurting somebody else. That's what is very important. In a cordial manner, in an effective manner. Synergy, cooperation. And that's what comes from our attitude, not just by knowledge and skill. Nowadays, knowledge, no dearth. All the younger kids are very, very knowledgeable, very intelligent, but they are not able to get the success because of the so many self-destructive actions. That's because our attitude is wrong. Actually, this is the nowadays. This is what we need to understand clearly. It's not just the physical health; it is the mental health which has become more important, because as you have seen, the mental health becomes the link for the physical health. So that's why nowadays, not only IQ, that intelligence quotient, but also what is important, more important, in fact, is EQ, the emotional quotient. Of course, there are two more now. Scientists have added the social quotient and the left of spiritual quotient. SPQ, the spiritual quotient. SQ is social quotient. EQ is emotional quotient. And IQ is intelligence quotient. So, my dear friends, when we have high EQ, naturally, our social quotient and spiritual quotient also will become high, because they are linked. Because when you are confident, when you are willing for synergy, when you are willing for cooperation, when you are willing to help, when you are compassionate, automatically your social quotient and spiritual quotient becomes more. That's what, see, empathy and compassion. These are the two key words in addition to the knowledge and skills. So, based on our EQ, SQ, and spiritual quotient, our family health, professional health, social health, all those. That's why our parents, my request to the parents, please focus on, in addition to the IQ, emotional quotient. Very critical. Because just you focus on IQ and only the marks and compare with the other children, that's not going to help us. No doubt IQ is important, but let us develop the EQ. Unfortunately, our educational system, somehow focus on knowledge and skills. For EQ, nowhere. So we only learn from somebody senior. Say, for example, when we were in the hospital, when we are looking at the patient, we are looking at our boss, their behavior with the patient, the way they treat, and how much they are compassionate while treating the patient. All those we are observing them. But to tell you frankly, there is nobody to teach us in a structured way how exactly to develop this. We all try to learn by our practice and trial and error method. But parents and teachers can play a very important role, because everybody should have one model, one role model. By advising others, we cannot change others. If at all we can change others, it's only by being a role model. For example, tomorrow you find me, whatever I talk today, and my behavior is totally different. you will not respect me. So if I have to become a role model, whatever today I talked, at least some of the behavior I should have incorporated in my behavior in my day-to-day life. Then I become the model. And that's what I think our effort should be. Our effort should be to become a role model for youngsters, for tomorrow's generation. If you want honesty, I have to be honest. If I want my children to be trustworthy, first I should be trustworthy. Then only it is possible. If my children don't want them to smoke, I should not smoke. Otherwise I am smoking and I am telling my children don't smoke. There is no value at all, and that has no effect. So if you want a change, what is needed is the emotional quotient. See, I am doing this. I am very sure you can do this. That's all. Then the chance of success of change of behavior will be much more. So, my dear friends, based on whatever we have discussed, we need somebody to get inspired to do anything. So anything we do, if you can incorporate all those whatever we have discussed in the beginning, proactivity, and then incorporating the emotional quotient, taking time to grow the subconscious mind in a positive way, then it is possible to understand our goal, analyze pros and cons, and then create a mental picture what exactly should be our pathway. Nowadays, the strategic plan, any business you go, there is what is called a book, separate book, strategic plan. In that you are planning your timed action plan, what are the things you are doing, like that. In our life also, in our day-to-day also, we can do that in a small way. It will help us a lot. So anything, plan, analyze. Plan, analyze. If it is not working, change the plan. We need somebody to get inspired, but we need continuous energy to stay on track. Because, for example, let us say, today you saw one beautiful rose garden. Bangalore, I think you would have seen some of the very big rose gardens. Oh, you see that very well. You also want to start one. But if you have not studied the intricacies of maintaining a rose garden, you will be a failure. So if you want to mimic or start another one like somebody else has started, we need to understand the pros and cons by analyzing properly. And then what's your future plan? What is the time that is needed? What is the budget? Is it feasible? All those. And it's necessary to stay on track. Ultimately, you should have the confidence. Yes, I can do it. So any change in behavior will come, as I told you, this is one of the example of the self-talk. Yes, I can do it. I am doing it. If there's a doubt, I will try to do it. Suppose you say, you are thinking, okay, I will try. Please understand, I will try most of the time, it will not be success. You should have the full confidence. Yes, I am going to do it. I am doing it. That means there is no doubt. See, your self-talk should be such a way that there should not be any doubt for yourself. If you yourself doubt, then the success rate will be much less. So I'm very sure, my dear friends, from today, you will be determined to try, not just to try, without hesitation. Yes, there is a need for change. I will change. This is another, can you just see there are 9 stars. You may be familiar, I don't know. There are 9 stars. Please, each one of you have got a paper. You can do this, just to do the work. There are 9 stars. Start from one point without lifting the pen. Without lifting the pen, you should finish touch all the stars in 4 lines. Did you understand the task? Without lifting the pen, you should finish in 4 lines all the stars. I'll give you some time. You should not lift the pen. Continuous line, but within 4 lines, you should touch all the stars. Who are not familiar, definitely you will be telling me is not at all possible. Up to or not much stuff. What time we started? What time we started? 10 minutes. Okay. Anybody successful? Possible? Now it looks so simple, no?
Yes, sir. I was trying after many years and I was not successful right now. How to do this?
Yes. How it was possible? See, most of you, what you did, you didn't go beyond. You were only thinking within those 9 stars. That's what happened to me also first time. So, see, most of the time, when there is a problem, we think, we ourselves create a boundary and we don't go out of the boundary. We don't look at the different options. We don't look at the different possibilities. We don't look at the different situations. That's how. So many a times lateral thinking, what we call, or thinking out of the box, that will help us to come out of the situation. And this is only possible when your subconscious mind is very clear with positivity. When it is positive with the confidence and all those, and it's possible to think out of the box. Because as I told you, subconscious mind is the one that is guiding us. You know what we call our inner voice, the divine voice. It comes through the subconscious mind. So many times you would have felt, see, there is one problem. You know, it happens to me quite often. There is one problem. All day I'll be thinking. Then when you're praying, suddenly you get an idea. Oh, I think we can do like this. You know, whole day you would have been struggling what to do and all. But while praying, suddenly you get an idea. Okay, I think we will do like this. At least, you know, it will be some solution. You know, like that. So for that you need prayer. You need a high level of emotional quotient naturally, which is linked with the spirituality. So it is possible for us to think out of the box or think laterally so that we become a very good problem solvers. So please understand, any problem, worrying is not the solution. That's what we do first. By worrying, we are not going to solve any problem. It's only going to aggravate the situation. So we have to all the time think of how to solve, how to come out of this in a peaceful way, in a respectable way. So again, we have to ask ourselves, self-analysis. Who has the freedom to choose the response? Any situation. I have been now telling you, see, for example, airport, somebody was waiting, getting angry. Somebody is cool. What's happening? See, both of them use their freedom to choose the response. Somebody became angry. They chose to be angry, but it didn't solve the problem. Whereas somebody who was cool and was able to think properly, they were able to plan for the next one immediately without any delay. Somebody wasting their time in fighting, somebody already started planning and for the next action. You see the difference. So my dear friends, let us choose that freedom. You know, when somebody abuses me, I have the freedom whether to abuse back or to keep quiet or to explain that person what he is doing is not correct, like that, or run away from that. I have the freedom. So that freedom we should use properly in an appropriate way. Proactivity. All this will come. See, if you want to use the freedom, you have to be proactive. You have to have a high level of emotional quotient. Otherwise, it is not possible. Our attitude should be, otherwise, normal tendency, somebody abuses, tuck. Immediate response, abuse. Abuse plus abuse. Are we solving the problem? No. Only hatred, revenge. And with that, other diseases and time spent wasted, our life is wasted. The precious moments are wasted. You have to choose what you want to. You want to waste your time, or you want to avoid it, or you want to stop it. You want to clear the misunderstanding. Again, the freedom of this response, ability to choose, it all comes from different, like our emotional quotient and other things I shared with you. All this, the way we are brought up. If the parents go on teaching the children, taking revenge is more important in this life, naturally, child will be focusing on the revenge. But on the other hand, if the parents focus on, or our education in the society focuses on how to improve ourselves and how to become productive to the society, productive to the family, productive to the country, it will be a different mentality. Another aspect also, see, nowadays we cannot do anything alone. We need to interact with the different people. We need to interact with the whether it is in the office, whether it is in the family, whether it is in the society, any function, we have to interact. What is the usual type of interaction? Let us say the father and son. What is the type of relationship you can in this? Can you anybody tell me? In the father-son relationship, who wants to win? Always, most of the time, father wants to win, is it not? Father wants his son to obey. Whatever father says, he expects the child to obey. Or husband and wife, same way you can have. Or teacher and students. Again, teacher wants to be in the winning position because teacher wants the students to obey. No argument, no discussion, no questions. So, lowest one, the win-lose relationship. So most of the time what you find between the teacher and student or parents and the children is a win-lose relationship. Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, win-lose relationship. Always somebody wants to dominate, sometimes in an aggressive way or sometimes in a nice way, assertive way. So win-lose relationship is the common one. But can you tell me what is the ideal one? What is the ideal relationship? Obviously, where there is a highest level of consideration and highest level of courage. That is win-win situation. Nowadays, you know, all the corporate body, they talk of win-win situation. What is this win-win situation? Where both the parties are equally happy, something done in a respectful way with the mutual give and take and mutual respect. That is what we should try for. I think the classical example for a win-win situation is friendship. Is it not? When two friends, there is no botheration of position, designation, caste, religion, that, this, no botheration for all those. Nothing is considered. What is considered? The mutual trust, the mutual respect, and mutual cooperation, mutual synergy. That's what is considered a win-win. So most happiest, peaceful, and productive relationship is win-win situation. So I need not describe the other one. You know, lose-win. What is lose-win relationship? Now you can guess. Lose-win means somebody who is very weak, submissive. For example, it can happen in the husband and wife. The husband is very dominant. Wife will become silent. She will not respond. She will not talk much. Without talking, she will obey. Same way, sometimes when the wife can be dominant, and then the husband becomes weak. Or when the boss is very, very aggressive, naturally the people who are working under them, they become, so they feel, okay, my destiny to lose. I am here, I am born to lose only, so I'll be like that. They will be all the time submissive. So that is lose-win. And of course, lose-lose is the most destructive relationship. At the cost of my destruction, I am ready to destroy others. That is a lose-lose relationship. You know, it happens in the property. Both brothers fighting for property, going to the court, and after some time, both of them losing money and everything. Instead of amicable settlement, they go to court and nothing will happen after that. And so many years and nothing will be solved. They will be losing money and they will be, only lawyers become rich. You know, that is the story. So that is the most self-destructive relationship. So friends, let us try for a win-win situation. So it's for the mutual benefit, not my way, not your way, but it's our way.
Yes.
With respect, with the full trust, and keeping the interest of both the parties with the caring love and understanding. So it's based on the mutual understanding, trust, and love. I think let us remember, we are all born here to take care, to love and help, to cooperate, to synergize. Definitely not to take revenge, not to, unnecessarily create rift and conflict and destroy our peace of mind, destroy somebody else's peace of mind. And in the process, see, once you remember our life is not permanent, definitely we will choose this trust, love and caring and cooperation rather than conflict and destruction. That's why, we should forgive others very fast. You know why? By forgiving others, we become more peaceful. Because by not forgiving others, if you are revengeful, your peace of mind is destroyed. We don't realize this. So as early as possible, any mistake from anybody, try to forgive and forget. In the process, we become peaceful. And peacefulness is very critical for us to perform in a better way. So this is the hallmark of win-win situation. Ability to express one's own feeling and convictions balanced with consideration. Very important. Caring consideration for the thoughts and feelings of others. So instead of we worrying, somebody is not understanding me, somebody is not there to help me, nobody is there for me. Instead of that, can we try to understand somebody? Can we try to take care of somebody? Can we try to help somebody? Can we develop trust among ourselves? Can we create more peace? My friends, I am very sure we are all, as I told you, born with that gift of love, gift of care, gift of compassion. So use it freely. No need for money for that. We don't need money. We don't need to invest. Let us use it freely as much as possible. Finally, one more thing I would like to this. See, I talked of problems beyond my control and under my control. Same way, there are things which are urgent, not urgent, and things which are important and not important. We are not distinguishing properly. That's why we are not able to manage our time. See, we say we are very busy. I have no time. But what are we doing in that time? Have we analyzed? So that self-analysis should extend to our time management also. Please, only this simple analysis. Urgent and important. Not urgent and not important. Urgent, not important. Not urgent, not important. You'll be surprised. People who say busy, very busy, they spend most of the time in the quadrant 4. They're very busy, but doing nothing. Wasting their time in not urgent and not important. This may be needed for entertainment or something. Let us say you go for a movie after a busy work. Agreed. But every day you go for a movie with the friends. That's a waste of time. Whole day you are in front of the TV. After days of hard work, evening TV, yes. But definitely I don't advise you to see the news channels. But most of the people, they don't focus on, where we need to focus? To be more productive. Where we need to focus? Things which are important but not urgent. Building up the relationship. Identifying the opportunities. Utilizing the opportunities. Planning our future. All this if I think today it's not possible to achieve it in tomorrow. So our more focus should be on the quadrant number 2, things which are important but not urgent. But if we are not planning them properly, they get shifted to quadrant number 1. They become urgent. As I shared with you my example, Dr. Ranjan told me to prepare for a lecture 1 month back. I wait until yesterday and suddenly I get tensed up. Oh my God, I have not prepared anything for tomorrow, something I should prepare. It becomes urgent and important. But I cannot do well. When it's a last minute preparation, when it is prepared in a hurry and stress, naturally, it will not be good. If I plan and then all the other, see, for example, relevant examples, linking with the previous whatever issue with the next issue, all this needs quite planning and preparation. Then only you will have a meaning and you will understand under the seriousness and you will feel, yes, there is a need for change. Then ultimately I should be able to convince you, yes, there is a need for change. Let me change. This is my one favorite example. Just to read that. As a young Scots boy, Andrew Carnegie came to America and started doing the old jobs. He ended up in one of the largest steel manufacturers in the United States. All those, but what is his statement? Please listen very carefully. Dealing with the people is like a digging gold. Dealing with the people is like a digging gold. When you go digging for an ounce of gold, please note, you have to move tons and tons of dirt to get an ounce of gold. But when you go for digging, you don't go looking for the dirt, but you go looking for the gold. Fantastic statement. Absolutely relevant to our relationships. Are you digging for gold or are you digging for dirt? For digging for gold, we need effort. Dirt comes easily. Abusing is very easy. Finding fault with others is very easy. For getting angry with others for fault, it's very easy. Let me tell you, we all expect others to understand us, others to help us, others to excuse us, forgive us very fast. But what we do when somebody else commits a mistake? Are we ready to forgive, or are we ready to pounce like a tiger? What we do? We expect others to forgive us when we commit a mistake. But when somebody else commits a mistake, we pounce like a tiger. What is this? Same way, we complain, oh, nobody is understanding my problem. When I am in difficulty, nobody is there to care for me. Why I should care for others? When I am not caring for others, how can I expect others to care for me? Simple. So, my dear friends, let us try to develop an unconditional relationship. Whatever my expectations, I will match with what I expect from others by reciprocating the same. So whatever I am expecting from others, if I expect others to understand me, yes, I will make an attempt. Yes, let me understand others first. Let me be caring and helping as much as possible within my limitations. Let me forgive, or let me guide them. Let me be a facilitator. See, whether I'm a president or a manager of a company or a teacher, see, I should be a facilitator as a human being. I am there to, definitely, I should use my position, my energy to understand others and help them to come up to their level so that they can execute their responsibility. So, my dear friends, this is very important. See, this is one of the major faults in the society, what we see. All the time, expectation from others, but we are not matching with the expectation. So, let us match our expectations to improve ourselves with that of others. That's all it is. And that is the purpose of my talk today. So, when you develop an unconditional relationship, naturally it is possible to forgive others, to help others, to facilitate, to be a facilitator for improving others. See, one candle, it can light thousands of candles without diminishing the power of the original candle. So let us become that light, lighting many more lives. And in the process, you feel happy, you make your life worth, purposeful and spiritual. And in the process, many people, you are making them grateful and making them enable their life. And in the process, you create a harmony, you create a synergy in the society. I think that should be our primary aim, where we can bring the spirituality and where we can bring the peaceful coexistence. So finally, my conclusion, I already emphasized some of the things. Facts versus perception, please, let us be objective, focus on the facts and delete your perceptions. Anything, cross-check, verify, find the facts. Based on the fact, action, no reaction, based on the perception. Same way, difference between wisdom and knowledge. Already I explained all those, IQ versus EQ and including the spiritual quotient. So knowledge is important, no doubt, but we should apply in our life so that it is productive, not self-destructive. Same way, absolutely, we should not waste our energy in fighting with the different religions, different gods. You know, there is one very good shloka which you use for our prayer. I think you must be familiar. Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha keshavam prati gacchati. how the water from the clouds go to the ocean through different rivers. Whichever God you pray, it reaches one God. That is our prayer. Every day morning, it is there in our prayer. So, whichever, that means what? Why multiple gods? It's only different forms of the same God. There is only one supreme, what we call Nirakara, Nirguna, Nirmama, Nirahankara, all those. It's a energy, whether we call it a divine energy or supreme energy, Paramatma, what we call. There is one, but all those, whatever we. So you may ask me why we should pray, for example, snake or a tree, why you should pray. Please let us understand, it is the nature that has been given by the God. See, for example, snake, they are needed to eat the rats, to maintain the balance between the rats population. You know what has happened in many cities? Because the snakes have been killed, the rat population is increasing. So it's natural balance. Same way tree, greenery is needed, oxygen, all those, the value of oxygen. Our now raising of the temperature, atmosphere, all those talk is going on. So nature is, we have to preserve the nature. We have to preserve the animal. So it has to be a coexistence, a peaceful, caring coexistence in this nature. Not just human beings. We have to remember that this world belongs to animals also. World belongs to trees and other plants. World belongs to the ocean, fishes and others. So we have to have a limitation where we don't destroy, and we make sure that we coexist in a peaceful, in a cooperative, in a purposeful way. So we are useful for everything. I think that is the purpose of our life. We have to understand to make it more fruitful. So absolutely no point in fighting for religion, because it's by birth. There's a famous, this one, the child immediately after birth, for not even 5 minutes, it has the freedom to cry naked, no dress, and absolute freedom. And there is no bias, nothing. But the moment it grows, what we do? We give name, we give religion, we give a caste, we give all those bias, fear, all those, and in the process, the purpose of God is totally lost. The innocence of the child, can we also have that? So can we be childish even after we become old? The innocence of the child, the honesty, trustworthiness of the child, can we try to retain? My dear friends, I am very sure is not at all difficult, but effort is needed. As you know, attitude is the most difficult one to change, but it's possible to change. So we have to make an attempt, honest attempt, to change ourselves before we claim, before we pressurize that others to change. That is what should be our main responsibility of our life.